everybody, it's Allie Edwards, and welcome back to my Project Life series for 2024. Today I'm working on week 14. I have some of the pieces from the April Stories by the Month kit out, and I want to show you kind of where my album is at, or my week is at right now. This one happens to include a couple inserts that I did for the story kit. So I'll be taking it out of the album to move things around in a minute here. So I got my photos, I got a journal card ready, celebrating the magically mundane. You might have seen that I am changing up the way that I am doing my weekly cards, that I went ahead and I'm actually just printing them on transparency. So for the first 12 weeks or so, I had foil quilled cards, and this download, you can get the download, it's free on my blog, or on our blog, on the Allie Edwards blog. And let's see, it's back on week 1. So if you go back to week 1 for 2024, you can download this PDF and you can print it out on whatever paper you want. Maybe you want it on vellum or you want it on something else. But I'm going to play around for the next 12 weeks at least with having it on transparency. And that's going to let me do a couple things. One is I can have a photo behind it. 2 is I could do some of the vellum pieces or pattern paper cards, because I know that some of you, like me, have some 3x4 cards. So I think it'll be cool just to have them, be able to layer that on top. Then I have the April card. So I have been on most months at the beginning of the month adding in whatever the Stories by the Month main card is. So I'm going to do that again for this week. I've got it in a 2-pocket page protector. Actually, it's a 3-pocket. I might want to change that. I'm thinking that I'll do one of these around here ones, and then this is the Hello April. Around here, this one's from the Around Here story kit. This guy here, the Hello April, is from the April Stories by the Month kit. So I'm kind of thinking about placing those in there. Again, I need to switch to a different page protector. These are a couple projects that I did for the Around Here story kit. So I have these in here right now that fall on this particular week. And then I have a full page photo for over here. I kind of like how this page ended up being, it's like got a lot of blue sky stuff happening here, and then it's got a lot of pink stuff happening over here. Our cherry tree is in bloom right now, or our cherry blossoms out there. Those are amazing. Love seeing those. So that's kind of why I'm thinking I might do the pink over here, kind of the nice blue. I've got sunny lacrosse, and then I have rainy lacrosse, and lots of volleyball, and that is kind of that's the season that we're in around here right now. So I'm going to pull this out and get down to business, adding on some embellishments on here, thinking a little bit about how I would like to add my stories on there. I think I'm going to leave these guys in here for right now. Week 13, in case you're wondering where week 13 was, that one I ended up doing in our story kit classroom, so I'm not going to go over much of what I actually ended up doing on that one in particular, but just filling in the pockets, right? Continuing the process of filling in the pockets. And as you guys have seen, I'm using a combination of things from my stash, some of the Stories by the Month stuff, some of the story kit stuff. Just a nice combination of those different things. So let's dive in. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to use the vellum, the April Stories vellum. And I'm going to put that right behind here. I think that's fun. Might stamp the dates on there. Let's see how this one ends up looking. That was something that I mentioned in the last video, that I hadn't been adding the dates on there, the actual weekly dates, but I'm going to go back in and stamp them. So on this one, maybe I'll stamp them right between those two. So let's figure that out. All right, so pulling that guy out of there, I'm going to use my rolling date stamp with Stays On ink. So using Stays On the vellum is the best way to go. So I'm just adding on the spread, right? The date spread. And this is what I'm talking about, that I'll go back in and do that. Next up is I wanted to have essentially a see-through pocket there with a couple of embellishments, one from the Stories by the Month kit and one from the Around Here story kit. I'm going to just temporarily adhere the two of those back to back. I'm going to put a brad through the Hello April, and then I'm going to staple that into into the pocket. So stapling it from the outside so that it is just solid in there. And because you can see the back of the brad through the vellum there, I ended up just doing the staple kind of right next to where the brad is. So I love part of the thing that I love about page protectors is being able to have some of these see-through things, right, where you're seeing through to the different layers of the things that are happening in your life. I pulled out a couple other journal cards that I was kind of considering. One is from the Savor Story Kit. I end up going back to the one from the birthday kit. What I have in my hand right now are a couple of chipboard circle tags. This is from the Around Here Story Kit. Don't worry about it if you don't have that kind of thing, right? My hope is when you're watching, or don't worry that you don't have that kit in particular. My hope when you're watching this kind of thing is that you're just getting general ideas too, right? Like play with something play with something inside of a page protector that's just an embellishment that's going to create some sort of a see-through. And I'm doing a couple different circles here. I've got chipboard adhered back to back, and I am adhering that on the outside of the page protector. So again, doing a few things inside and a few things outside the page protector. That particular card right there is from the birthday kit. I liked that sentiment, so I'm going to add that on there. The next thing I did was get out one of my circle punches. I believe this is a 3-inch circle punch because I was thinking about how I wanted to add my story onto this particular spread. And I've done this kind of thing in the past where I am essentially creating my own custom little story cards, these half circle cards that can be easily added onto the photo so that I can add some either journaling or maybe a title or just giving a little bit of context. So I'm pulling out the Around Here story stamp again because it was just such a good one and it's got good sentiments, good everyday life sentiments. And I'm creating my own curve there. So I just curved it a little bit, added it onto the block. I think this is the one that says life. What is it? Life is like this. Life is like this is what that says. So I'm going to stamp that either going in the way, either the curved part of the half circle is going to be on the top or it's going to be on the bottom. So those 4 right there were on the top. Then I'm going to change the curve and I'm going to stamp it on the bottom so that the words are facing up. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can see it on the images in the blog post a little bit better. I needed one more for the back of my insert for one of those photos, and I added it on there. Then I thought a little bit about, now you're going to see me just adhering them on there, but I thought a little bit about what do I want to put on these. I could, use a thin pen and write a sentence on each one. That's an option. What I ended up deciding to do, though, was pulling out my brush pen, my Kuretake brush pen, because I just like it and I like how it looks, and I'm going to end up writing one word or multiple or 2 words on each of these half circles, so it becomes kind of a nice big graphic element, or they are a repeated graphic element on each one of my photos. And then I'm going to use that 1 3x4 journal card to kind of do an outline of the week or an overview of the week. Again, a nice reminder that we can do lots of journaling, or we can have weeks where we're just adding some identifying things on top of there, right? I like to have the combination of the two. I feel like the last few weeks, especially as I'm playing kind of catch up in my album itself, doing simple things where, it's not long journaling, it's not a lot of in the moment stuff. I'm just kind of adding some context to say, okay, where was this photo taken, or what is this thing that's happening around here right now. So I did sunshine lacrosse on that one, and then I'm going to do rainbow lacrosse on the other one. There was actually a double rainbow, which was super cool. So I hand wrote cherry blooms, and I hand wrote forget-me-nots, which were the flowers on the first page, and then I'm adding just painting, and then I'm adding garden books. So just a few things again that are happening around here right now, and then the other rainbow, or the rainbow lacrosse piece on the bottom there. I'm stapling them. I did adhere them with some rolling adhesive, but then I am also using the tiny attacher just to staple them in place. I also liked having a couple of them, these ones with the lacrosse ones, where it had a more of a scripty word paired with the uppercase word. So just playing a little bit with the way that I'm doing my handwriting. This is absolutely something that you can do. It's all about just playing, kind of developing your own style, having fun with it, mixing uppercase and lowercase, and generally just being okay with what comes out. There's a lot of that in this for me. And again, if you've heard me talk recently, I've been talking a lot about just letting things be looser, right? Not feeling like things have to be a specific way, one way or the other, just really letting myself have fun. Then adding on my journaling, I'm doing this with, I think, a 0.05 micron pen, writing a little bit about just the overarching things of the week, which is the weather was amazing this particular week. It was like the first really, really warm day, which I think I did a screenshot on here when it was like in the mid 70s. And then I'm writing a little bit about taking Anna to a volleyball tournament and watching lacrosse games. That's just kind of, this is the season that I'm in right now. Having fun creatively, really feeling thankful for feeling like I'm in a creative season. Giving lots of gratitude for that. I'm adding one of the little sticker tabs, flags. That's from the March Stories by the Month kit. I'm adding that on there. And then let's see what I'm going to do next. Okay, so next I have the back of one of the pages from the Around Here story kit. So I printed out a large photo of the cherry tree in the backyard, doing a little bit of a different angle with that one where I'm standing behind the tree and shooting the photo towards the house. My sizing was off just a little bit on the photo itself, and because of the pattern paper, I'm not going to trim off the white, so that I'm leaving a little bit of the white edge along there. Not going to spend more than 1 minute worrying about that. I'm going to add a couple word phrase stickers on here. Actually, I add one, and then I'm going to come back in, because one of the things that I was thinking about was these half circles that are in the April Stories by the Month kit. The half circles were part of what kind of inspired me to do those other half circles. So I was so excited that I remembered that this was what I wanted to do at the end. So in that Stories by the Month kit, there are 2 half circles that say the story and 2 other ones, one that says these words and the other one says these photos. So I'm adhering those 2 back to back, and then I'm going to slip them in between the full page photo and this page of journaling that I did with the pieces from the Around Here scrapbook kit. So I love having that half circle along the outside edge acting as a tab and also acting as a repeated half circle embellishment. So really diving into those. I like how this one turned out. I like having those bigger things on the outside edge too, rather than just a tab sticker and or an Avery Index tab. It's kind of fun to have some other things that can go along the outside edge. Then I pulled out some of my word phrase stickers. Decided I wanted to add a couple more on there. I was going to do the pink, and then I was like, it's like there's a lot of pink happening in here. So I decided to grab like one that was on a beige and then one that was on a white background. As always, you guys let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and we'll see you back here again soon.